Unfortunately, Dr. Hertz is a very busy woman. I doubt she'll be able to come here immediately. In the meantime, there's another important angle I would like to explore. Frankly, something has been bothering me about the person at the heart of this case. The so-called ringleader. Who exactly are they? Yeah, good point. We never looked into that, huh? Despite having been mentioned repeatedly in this hearing, we still don't know even the most basic fact that might help us uncover their identity. Well, Mr. Edwards, do you have any thoughts on the matter? We've seen nothing that might serve as clear evidence of the auctioneer's identity as of yet. But there is someone involved with this case I can name. I suspect that at the very least, they might be able to point us in the right direction. And that's... Chairman Winner. I demand that you testify as to what you know. What? Are you crazy? Why would you accuse my dad? You would cast doubt on the integrity of the chairman of the committee? Do you understand the implications of such an act? I do not care. I do not care who or what he is. We're talking about the truth here. About the man who seems dead set on framing Kay at all costs. The mask, the corsage, the ticket stub, and everything else. The items Kay was carrying when she was found. They were all deliberately placed in her possession somehow. By Chairman Winner himself. A shocking accusation. And one I find hard to believe. But for the sake of completeness, I must ask, why would he do such a thing? To cast suspicion on Kay, of course. Why else? I even managed to get him to say something to that effect. Chairman Winner, your rebuttal, please. I think the good chairman might be in shock. So what if I did? Did you hear me, dear boy? I said, so what if I did? You say you got me to admit as much? But where's your proof, There's no witnesses to speak of. Your word alone is hardly enough to make an accusation like that stick. Or do you mean to tell us that you have something more to base your outburst on? He still has arrogance he showed back at the detention center. And yet... Mr. Edgeworth, I'm going to have to ask you to explain yourself. Is that alright, Mr. Chairman? Not at all. I'll be very interested to hear this for myself. I'm intrigued to learn where Miles has gotten the idea that I'm some sort of criminal. But you'll never find a more fine and upstanding citizen than myself. There's a lot of nerve acting innocent like that. Very well, let's start at the very beginning. The fact that the action took place here in the hollow trial chamber is a point of suspicion. A location that should, by all rights, be only accessible to members of the committee. Yeah, they all have keycards to the room, after all. Furthermore, these auctions seem to be held on a somewhat regular basis. And for that to be possible, there can only be one winning explanation. That's right, Mr. Winner. The auctioneer is a member of the committee. No! What on earth is wrong now? What do we do, Dad? We played right into his hands. You did indeed, you utter nitwit. But Miles, my boy, you do realize you've cast quite the wide net with your explanation. That's true. There are 11 members of the committee altogether. 10, given Miss Ringer's unfortunate passing. 10 potential suspects in total. Yeah, and given Ace Attorney Styles and stuff, given how none of the other committee members except you and Mr. Winner have like actual character detail, it's got to be one of the two of you. So the suspect list is 2. And might I, dear madam, ask, Do we not have it anymore? Oh, yeah, that's right here. You entered the room 2.5 hours before the supposed crime. And you still have not specified as to why. It can't be the chairman, can it? Whoever it is, speak up right now. They're not gonna speak up. Calm down, all of you, please. Well, Miles, is that all the proof you've got against me? You're very quiet all of a sudden. But it's too late to back out now. You accused a former chief prosecutor and current committee chairman of a crime. I will tell you to prepare for the worst. But there's no preparing for what you're about to face. But forcing us to argue over every detail for a while. Where the murder happened, the order of the victim's injuries, some other things I hardly even remember. But you needn't have bothered my boy, because that's all irrelevant in the end. Think about it, the suspect herself has already said she did it. That's all that matters at the end of the day, and her sentence will be lighter for it, so rejoice. Nah, sorry, that's not how it works. You can try to say that it's fine. Like, oh, he admitted to it, that means we don't need to look any further. No. No. Absolutely no. And there you have it. Feel free to pick holes in it as you see fit. How can I? When that was barely a testimony to begin with. That man, he's a very powerful person, isn't he? It's okay, Mr. Edgeworth. Please, just let it go. I did it. I'm a murderer. I even remember doing it. No, you don't. Shut up, Kay. We saw a flash of something half-remembered, Kay. Nothing more. You must believe in something. Believe me when I say you should believe in your own innocence instead. But I'm up against the head of the committee here. This isn't going to be easy. But he seems to think he's already won. Perhaps I can use that against him. Just because she confessed to something doesn't mean it's the truth. Kay is suffering from amnesia, so any statement she makes could be taken with at least a grain of salt.
Objection!
Oh, now he has a voice. Objection. So, even so, it doesn't exactly solve anything for us, does it, dear boy? And it would be nonsensical to dismiss her confession outright. I tell you what did we ask her one last time? Don't try to say she did it again. Fine, let's do it. Let's ask her again. We'll see if she really believes herself to be the culprit. Huh? You mean me? Is it really what you want, Mr. Edgeworth? If it goes badly, it could significantly weaken your position. I know, but there's no other way. I will request that I be the one to question her. You really know how to tug at an old man's heartstrings, you know. But fine, ask away. Only on one condition. This turns out to be a waste of time. That's it. Call an end to the proceedings. To an end. Then and there. Agreed. Call the proceedings to an end? You mean the hearing? Yes, dear boy, that's right. Perhaps you aren't completely muddle-headed after all. Now, just so we're clear, if we ask again, and all that happens to is this girl confirms her guilt. She's officially declared guilty on the spot. Yes, that sounds like a great plan, if I do say so myself. That's it. You just declare her guilty just like that. That's the gist of it. It's a big risk. He's going to find a way to condemn her either way if we don't do something. Okay. Yes? I know it's a lot to ask, but I need you to think. Do you remember anything else about what happened on the day of the murder? Anything that might help us prove your innocence? Why are you still fighting it, Mr. Edwards? It's no use. I can't be of help to you. I'm sorry. I'm too scared to try to remember anymore. What if I remember something even worse? And if I did, I'd just be making more trouble for you. Please, just accept it. The kid you thought you knew is a dangerous criminal. A criminal who let you down and betrayed your trust. Don't worry, Kay. You have nothing to be afraid of. I may not have known you for very long, but I know you well enough. And right now, I'd say I know you better than you know yourself. You never commit a crime, because you never committed a murder. You could never, because this is who you really are. Take that! You're the great thief Yatagarasu. A noble outlaw who would never stoop so low as to kill. The pin had to come up at some point. Can't do it. I'm sorry. What? Cause all I can see is that one memory that's returned. I have to face it. Hold it! No. The only evidence of your guilt is the confession they forced out of you. As I said earlier, you have to believe that you're better than that. Or are you saying you don't believe a word of what I'm telling you? No, it's not that. You're trying so hard to help me. You're risking so much for me. It's too much. You have to stop. I'm begging you. Ah, so that's what's going on. I thought it was strange, but now I see. The reason you're allowing yourself to be railroaded into accepting your fate is because of me, isn't it? Which is exactly what the K I know would have done. You're a good person, Mr. Edgeworth. Sorry to burst your bubble, but I'm not. And I don't plan on becoming one anytime soon. Because despite all your wishes to the contrary, I'm still trying to help you. So you see, I've merely been servicing my own ego, regardless of what I put you through. Now, let's try this again. See the good in yourself, Kay. Remember the noble thief you truly are. The memory of you committing a murder, you need to question it with all you have. That's all I ask. So please, do it for me. Okay. What's wrong? Did you remember something? Oh, like it'd be like some movie pot if you did. A cow. Cow? Mr. Edwards, if you could perhaps ask her for a few more details. Did she see this? Well, Kate, what can you tell us about this cow? I remember now. The person in the red raincoat. She had it in her hand. A stuffed cow. I can see it so clearly now. Are you sure, Miss Faraday? Are you absolutely certain? Is a cow not in a picture? Would it be? It would be. It was right on the edge, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure it was right on the edge of that table. It's probably in the hand we can't see. Are you absolutely certain? Yes, I'm sure. And the court acknowledges the defendant's latest statement as a New Testament.
Objection!
Have you lost your mind, Verity? You can't accept testimony like this. You already have. With all due respect, Mr. Chairman, information pertaining to the victim and her possessions is new and highly relevant evidence.
Objection!
Need I remind you that the adult state of her memory? No, that simply won't do. Adult? But if we claim her memory is unreliable, then our own argument is weakened, sir. You said yourself only a few minutes ago that thanks to the suspect's confession, we need not worry ourselves over the finer details, did you not? We were to call the validity of her memories into question. Then we must also call into question the confession on which our entire argument is based. Is that really the most advisable course of action? Okay, finally she's doing something smart. Finally she's actually speaking up and making logical sense. Yes, you're right. Proceed as you see fit then. It's a good call out for her for once. Jeez. We're still in the game, but only by the skin of our teeth. And only thanks to Judge Clavell's intervention. It's almost as if she was on our side for a second. Yeah! She was actually on our side! Does she actually realize he's sketch? Well, Mr. Edgeworth, the stuffed animal? I believe the cow in question is this thing here, Your Honor. We found it in the storeroom and believe it is yet another auction. Wait, that's... Do you know something, Cavell? No, it's just not what I imagined. I suppose it's a rather odd thing for the victim to have been carrying. Should look it over more carefully. Is there anything off? It's a petal. Yeah. The cherry blossom petal caught on the fur here. There are petals on the raincoat too. And a cherry tree bloom up in a viewing platform. Definitely a pair that was taken outside at some point. Or did a victim walk with this? The left horn is missing. This hole. Looks like this is where the horn would have gone. But it doesn't look like stuffing in there. So what is it? Let's take a look at the rest of the tool and see what else we can find. Right horn seems intact, but I can't say it's doing much for the overall symmetry of the stuffed toy. It moves. It does. It sounds like sand being crushed. It would seem there is a recording device hidden inside. I knew it was you the moment I laid eyes on you. You can't hide that burn from me. Nothing to say for yourself. I've waited so long for this day, and now I finally have my revenge. Ah. Could this be the moment of the murder? Someone made a recording of it? Oh. And a prominent burn obviously is referring to Rosie. Hey, that's them there. That's them voices I heard. Sure as X6.
Overruled.
Unfortunately, we have no way of verifying when these voices were recorded. It's possible they have nothing to do with the murder. If there was only some accompanying video footage. You got some bugs in yours or something, lady? I done told you. Them's the voices I heard. We already know the victim was holding that thing there. It's gotta be where she got it. Yes, it is a possibility. But a weak one without more than a word to back it up. We need something more. Something credible. We need. Yet again, she seems to be stepping in help. She seems to be stepping in help. Judge Gavel, I think we all know where the voices are from. The moment of the murder. Consider for a moment the words that we heard one of the speakers say. I knew it was you the moment I laid eyes on you. You can't hide that burn from me. I believe of something that could explain what these words are referring to, and how it's all related. Which piece of evidence proves that the voices are from when the murder occurred?
Take that!
The coroner's preliminary finding? How do they prove anything? Indeed, one of this page shows the voices must be from the time of the murder.
Take that!
Think again on the words we heard. This part in particular sticks out in my mind. You can't hide that burn from me. The victim had a prominent burn mark on the back of her right hand. And what of it? According to the case testimony, the victim was carrying a stuffed cow toy. And a burn mark, an identifying mark unique to the victim, was mentioned in the recording and captured. It's just a coincidence. Stuff like that happens all the time, right?
Overruled.
I'm not so sure it does, especially not in this case. The court accepts that the recording may be from the time of the murder. In which case, one of these two voices must belong to the real culprit. And based on the content of the conversation, it seems likely that it's the one we hear the most. But that still doesn't tell us anything about the killer's true identity, or even if they're male or female. Due to the voice changer is correct. Unfortunate, but unavoidable. One thing, however, has become clear. We're now able to say that the voices Miss Hart heard was those of Miss Ringer and her killer. Like I done told you they was. We can say something else now, too. Then let's hear it. That is, if you don't mind, Mr. Chairman. Do as you wish. According to Miss Hart, just before the murder occurred, two people came up to the storeroom from the committee chamber on the elevator. The ringleader and one of the auction attendees. It seemed at this point at which money was exchanged hands. Murder happened immediately afterwards. And the auction carried on after that. All of which points to one key fact. What else does this latest revelation tell us? Since the ringleader was the auction's sole auctioneer, then it follows that they cannot be the victim. Hey, Gavel? Not right now, Eustace. There's a good boy. He's not a dog! If they weren't the victim, then they could only have been the killer.
Overruled.
A compelling argument, but hardly conclusive. I'm fully aware of that, Your Honor. Merely warming up for the main event. There were certain traces left on the scene that seemed to suggest that the ringleader was the killer. Then please hurry up and show us. What is something that was placed on the scene that points to the ringleader having been the killer? Pretty sure I present all of this.
Take that!
I thought sure I presented that already. Yeah, whatever. The killer deliberately left a large pool of blood at the foot of the goddess Justice's statue. It was due to that blood that we originally thought the murder had happened in his chamber. It was simply a ruse, designed to cover up the blood that had dripped down from the storeroom, in order to conceal the existence of the underground auction, correct? Correct. The culprit had nothing to do with the auction. They would have had no reason to cover up that blood. Which supports the theory that the ringleader and the killer were one and the same. And as to identify the ringleader, do you have anyone you'd like to name? The auction is always held in the committee chamber. It is its storeroom located just overhead. So at the very least, we know the murder's ringleader has some connection to the committee. Yes, yes. And you suspect me, correct? As the committee's most powerful member, this should hardly be a surprise, right?
Objection!
You're a fine prosecutor. That much I'll give you. But I think I've mentioned already, you are hopelessly naive. You've got nothing, dear boy. You have you? No evidence whatsoever. Unless you've got something to share after all. Do you have any evidence to show that the chairman winner is the murderer? I don't think we do. Yeah, we don't. It was Chairman Winner himself who brought up the fact that I suspected him. And he seems confident right from the get-go that he's untouchable. Which means he knows I have nothing. Oh, well, Miles, my boy. Time to pay the piper. Ah, I've always wanted to say that. Verity, he's all yours. Wait, dang it. I just remembered something. Huh? You have amnesia too? Nah, it just dawn came to me. A flash of inspiration. You know how it is. Very well, say your piece.
Objection!
What are you doing, Verity? Mr. Edwards has made it clear that he won't give up until the last stick of hope has been extinguished. So extinguish he must, lest he try to drag us through this excruciating process again in the future. Yeah, what she said. I don't quite get it, but it sounds pretty cool. Don't worry, Dad. I'll help Gavelle bring this winning finish. So we'll show them how wrong they are. Fine. Let's hear what the witness has to say. You heard the chairman, Miss Hart. If you would be so kind. Well, alright then. Here goes nothing. The facts, Miss Hart. And nothing but the facts, please. Don't you worry your pretty little head on that front. I'm a journalist. Truth's my middle name. Color me officially worried. So Ringleader's killer, right? Makes the victim one of them auction goers. Thing is, that don't add up. Count to 11 people coming down here, see? Down that hatch, see? Then the murder happened, and then the auction started back up again. Now, how may have looked downstairs right after that? No. Once you know it, there were 11 little duckies all lined up in a row again. she walked in on it. She wasn't a part of it. She walked in on it. When she entered the chamber at that time, she wasn't a part of the auction. She walked in and found them all like that. Are you sure of this, Miss Hart? Sure can be, gavel ship. Gavel ship. I saw him with my own 2 peepers. So, 11 before the murder, 11 again after, right after means... Wait, that's a thingy. A contradiction, Eustace. Do try to keep up. Miss Hart, did nothing really change at all? I told you already. They carried right on like nothing ever happened. Oh, except for... It's not so much, but... What is it? A little mallet doodad. You can't have yourself an auction without one. Kinda like the one little Missy's got over there, but different. The auctioneer's hammer. That's the bummy. Been heard of thing banging and clanging right the way through, and there's nothing just like that. So the noise of a hammer stopped midway through. Could have something to do with some murder. That's what hit her on the head. So she got hit in the back of the head with the mallet. If what Miss Hart is telling us is true, we have something of a problem. And know that the victim is neither an auctioneer nor one of the attendees. Your entire theory cannot stand, Mr. Edgeworth. Nah, not necessarily. Chalk up one for justice. Eat that, Edgeworth. See, Mr. Edgeworth? There really is nothing we could do. No. She's not an attendee. She's not the auctioneer. She unfortunately walked in on the operation. No, there must be something we're overlooking. Something we still don't have an explanation for. I just need to think. If it's a K, I can't case. Alright, kids, do we finally have all our answers now? So, then I expect make good on them. One moment, sir. I worry that it might still be a little early to pass judgment. After all, we have one more matter yet to resolve. And until we do, we cannot complete a total victory over Mr. Edgeworth. Is that not so, Mr. Edgeworth? Frankly, I expected you to have raised your voice by now. A loud, hold it perhaps? Oh, yes, of course. Once again, she has rescued us from the jaws of defeat. Very well. Let's get this over with, shall we? What is this one matter that still remains? Why the contradiction in the coroner's report, sir? That's... I'm back with a witness, Your Honor. What's all this about? Why'd you call us back down here? Did somebody suddenly fall ill? I have a compressor ready to... Ouch! That's better if you did. Did someone else drop dead? Well, they might as well soon wish they had. Dr. Hertz, Miss Needler, thank you for coming at such short notice. Let me assure you, this won't take long. Quit trying to butter me up and cut to the chase, will ya? Of course. We summoned you here to confirm something. What is Judge Gaville up to? Dr. Hertz, the court asks you to provide the unabridged truth regarding the following. Do you stand by your preliminary findings? Can you vouch for their complete and total accuracy? Grandma doesn't make mistakes, ever. That's strange. Huh? What do you mean? In the course of this trial, an error was indeed found in her report. And so I ask again for the truth, Dr. Hertz. Did you alter, tamper with, or in any way falsify your findings? That's awful. How could you even say that? What are you asking me for? Why the heck would I want to do that? To up the true culprit, of course. As if I know anything about all that. I just know it didn't do anything of the sort. That seems doubly strange. What other explanation could there be for the discrepancy in your report? Mr. Edgeworth, I wonder if you might have any thoughts on the matter. It's not like you to be so coy, I must say. Why does she keep taking charge and helping me? I still don't know what she's trying to do, but I'll happily take what I can get. If everything was recorded accurately, then hand it off to Mr. Winner, according to protocol. The report shouldn't contain any mistakes. Wait, for the record, I didn't do anything to report. I guess we'll see, won't we? Dr. Hertz, perhaps you could begin with your side of the story. Why do we even need to? This is pointless. I'll be the judge of what's pointless, thank you very much. We have patients waiting back at the hospital. But, yeah, I really don't have time for this. Won't you please help us? You were subpoenaed to testify. I can't stress how important this is. Irma says she'll testify. But could you please make it quick? If we're not back soon, people will suffer. And yet you had no qualms about taking your time and buying cotton candy the last time we saw you. We'll let you go as soon as we can, I promise. Assuming you tell us the truth, that is... There's no way there's a mistake in Grandma's report. Not never. I've been dealing with the dead longer than you've been alive, son, Jim. You've writing something wrong in the report? It's as likely as is. What the heck do you think I'd stand the game by doctoring a file? Don't make it like a sentence. That's all she has to say. Nothing funky here. See, just as I thought. There's no chance that the good doctor doctored her findings. And you swear by the Holy Goddess that this testimony is the true? Of course. Grimms never told a lie in her...
Objection!
Your opinions are not necessary, Nurse Needler. Your grandmother is the subject of this inquiry, not you. Not necessary? That's not fair. I'm the only ally poor Granny has. Go ahead and shout objection, left and right. You best be prepared then, Mr. Ex-Prosecutor. Oh, I'm more than prepared. I'm ready to expose the truth behind the error in your report. Do we just present the code again? We need a presser. It's either presented on the first statement.
Hold it!
We'll press first. Never. We're saying Dr. Hertz is infallible. She has to be. The doctor can't afford to make mistakes. A veteran like Grandma would be out of a job if she messed up even once. There's no way she, of all people, would... I got a whole hospital relying on me. Might be as you can bungle your work and survive, mister, but I can't.
Hold it!
Skip the second one for now. The victim appeared to have put on his raincoat after sustaining the head injury. And yet, there was not a single drop of her blood in the chest area of the raincoat. Therefore, she must have been hit in the head before she was stabbed in the chest, making it pre-mortem. Oh, ouch! I don't need you to teach me how to sunk eggs, young man. My dang report already said what you just said, don't it?
Objection!
Your report states that the head injury had been sustained post-mortem, which is exactly the opposite of what I just said. Oh. Sure. I diligently dictated that report to Florence here, and she wrote it all down just like I said. Something happened to it after that. Well, it's nothing to do with me. You dictated it. If you could please tell me more. Diligently dictated that report to Florence. Anything after that, nothing to do with me. So she's in on it?
Hold it!
Just so we're on the same page, what were your conclusions regarding the body? Well, like I said, ouch! Sorry, was, that's from a good knock. Oh. Uh-oh. That's from a good hard knock to the noggin. Can you say for certain when that knock happened, Dr. Hertz? Pre-mortem, of course. Chest wound would have happened after the poor girl died. Really? Interesting. That's not what's written. Florence, you got something to say? I told Florence that and she wrote it down. So that's what it says in my dang report. That may be what you told her, but I think we're finally getting to the truth. So Florence is in on it?
Objection!
Dr. Hertz, I'd like you to take a look at the report for yourself. I'm ready to— ouch! This ain't what I said. This ain't what I said at all. What? What do you mean exactly? I don't know. But I can't say that. Miss Needler, if you're attempting to bury Dr. Hertz's truth, I will gladly hear her confession myself on behalf of the Goddess of Justice. Dr. Hertz seems to be telling Judge Clavel something in private. What? I see. Very well. Allow me to relay to everyone what you've just told me. Ain't no doubt about what I said. I dictated my findings to Florence, just as I told you I did. The fuddle-headed young must have wrote it down wrong or something. Wow, that was a great impression. Yes, but was it really necessary? So in summary, there was an error in your report. And it was all because you, Nurse Needler. The true facts have now been shown to be that the head injury occurred prior to the chest wound. The question now, Miss Needler, is why did you introduce such an error? Just a minute, Fairy. Make it sound as if the poor girl did it deliberately. Oh, it was 100% deliberate at this point. Whereas it seems to me she just made a little mistake. Pre-mortem, post-mortem, they're practically the same word, don't you think? Except that they mean two completely different things. This was deliberate, no doubt about it. Why would you want to change it? Exactly. Things like, ouch! You won't get away that easily. Explain yourself, young lady. But Grandma, You submitted a falsified report, an act that led to Kay being accused of murder. You owe us an explanation. But I can't tell you anything. Not don't want to, but can't. This is really rather unpleasant, don't you think? Ganging up on a poor, considerate girl who's only looking after her grandmother. She has nothing to do with anything. Simply made one tiny mistake, so why not leave it there?
Objection!
You'd like that, wouldn't you? Because the only person her testimony would hurt is you. What on earth do you mean by that, boy? Seeing as you are now de facto ex-prosecutor, you're going to need to explain yourself better than that. I'd be happy to. I'll even spell it out for you. Nurse Needler's role in the crime was very important because she's a co-conspirator. Nurse Needler doctored the report in order to cover for her accomplice. Oh, she's a co-conspirator. This is innocent young thing. You shall grounds for making such a wild accusation, dear boy. The murder couldn't have been committed by one person working on their own. Without at least two people, it wouldn't have been possible to. Well, no, you could move the body on its own. Is she one of the attendees? Could be either of these. The auctioneer was the murderer, and the victim was one of the attendees. The fact that a witness testified to there being 11 attendees even after the murder doesn't make sense. Hey, watch it. Y'all gotta call my good word into question now, too? That's not what I meant. In fact, quite the opposite. I'm taking you at your word, which means there must be a co-conspirator. I know it's hard, my boy, but sometimes you just have to accept that you are wrong.
Objection!
I wasn't wrong. I just hadn't considered the possibility of the killer having an accomplice. But as soon as we do, things start to fall into place. The killer's accomplice returned to the auction room, in place of the victim. There would indeed have been 11 entities both before and after the murder. Well, well. So what you're thinking is it? It's certainly an intriguing theory. But surely the imposter would have been spotted right away. I don't imagine that Nurse Needler looks strikingly different from the victim in build and nature. Exactly. With the help of a mask, she could very easily have replaced Miss Ringer without anybody noticing. Well, Nurse Needler, is that what happened? Did you take the victim's place at the auction? I wouldn't do something like that. Now tell us, the ringleader, who were they? I can't tell you. I just can't. And it hurt Grandma, too. Ow! But Grandma. Don't you worry about me. I can take it. You just tell me everything, child. But... There goes the hair, there goes the hair, boom, 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 boom. So I was right, there was an accomplice. Miss Needler, why? Well, Miss Needler, can you explain yourself? Yes. Oh, thank you, Grandma, but I'm alright now. I confess it. I changed places with Miss Ringer. So you admit that you were working with the ringleader? Yeah, I was helping them. I don't know how, but they found out Miss Ringer was going to attack them. The culprit was going to be attacked by the victim. They seemed pretty sure it was going to happen that night, so they made a counterplan. They wanted to strike first, and they wanted me to help them. I was told to go to the storeroom before the auction. Auction began and wait there. Now hold on right there, Missy. I ain't seen nothing, and my eyes don't lie. If you'd have been there from before the auction, I would have bumped into you. I was there the whole way through, and you weren't there for a bit of it. But I'm not lying. Well, that's easy for you to say, but you were lying about altering the report only a few minutes ago.
Objection!
I think we're all aware of the number of potential hiding places in that storeroom. Are we? What exactly are you trying to say? Our friend, the nurse, is holding. Where's hiding? Nurse Needler was hiding. Nurse Needler hid here while she was waiting in the storeroom.
Take that!
The box. She hid inside this clothes box. Oh, she did she? Huh? Well, it was there the whole time, even before I osed on it. Like I done told you. I had them chains all around it. Wanna hide in there myself, really. It's locked up tight, so I had to go elsewhere. I imagine that's because Nurse Needler was already laid in there by the time you arrived. That's right. We didn't want anybody to open it. We really would have blown our cover. So the ringleader told me to climb in and wait until it's time for my part of the plan. There, I have to pull whole box up in chains. I think I took the elevator downstairs not long after. How did you breathe inside there, by the way? Asking for a friend? It was just before the auction was due to start. So as the auction was beginning, you and Miss Hart would have been the only two people in the store. Yeah, I think so. The auction proceeded as it always did, until a certain customer came upstairs to complete her purchase. That was when the incident occurred. Miss Hart overheard the victim and the culprit exchanging words around them. You betcha. You betcha. I was behind the statue there, shaking like a dang leaf the whole time. In the middle of their quarrel, Miss Ringer was killed by the auctioneer. I imagine the auctioneer then carried Miss Ringer's body over to the clothes box, from which Nurse Needler emerged and swapped the places with the victim, placing Miss Ringer's body inside the box. Nurse Needler's role was to now pretend to be Miss Ringer. The two of them returned to the room below as if nothing had happened. Is that about to sum up what happened in the storeroom, Miss Nurse Needler? Yes. In fact, that's exactly what happened. Hold up. So you just waltzed right back in and nobody noticed? This is two completely different people we're talking about. You tell me not one of the other folks down there noticed the auction was caught not? Why would they? The other auctioneer ghosts had no reason to notice the difference between Nurse Needler and victim's clothes. As we'd seen, Miss Ringer and Nurse Needler are about the same build. What's more, the auction rules required attendees to wear masks at all times. Nurse Needler was wearing the same clothes as Miss Ringer. Nobody would have been any wiser. No, and they weren't. I borrowed Miss Ringer's clothes and ouch! And left the poor child in her smalls. Have you no respect, girl? No, Grandma, I thought the same thing. It wouldn't be nice to leave her like that. So when Ringleader wasn't looking, I put the raincoat on her. And that's how she kind of escaped, but then collapsed outside. So that's how Miss Ringer came to be wearing it. Well, so the auction was able to carry on as before. The part where I caught the red raincoat on film came just after. Yeah, it must be. Then it all makes sense. Right after that, when I was on over and looked downstairs through the gap in the elevator, inspired me 11 happy auction goers. Back snuck my hat out. Don't tell me you were hiding back there the entire time after that. Well, that's it. That is, not exactly. What is it? Did something happen? So maybe I ought to mention this before, but I fell asleep for a few winks after that. Well, passed out unconscious, you might say.
What happened?
Oh, not so much. Kind of silly, really, but there was a sudden loud noise, and it startled me just a little bit, you know? Alright, maybe more just a little bit. I just witnessed a murder. Can't blame a girl for getting jumped. Yes, that got my heart shook. My head faint before I knew it. I was out like a light. By the time I came to, it was the next dang day. There y'all were, clanking down on that ladder.
I see. So you were startled by a loud noise and fell unconscious. I suppose that means you don't know what happened after that.
Not per se, but well, after the auction was all over, all the masks were back on the rack. So I reckon guests finished up and filled out one by one as they were supposed to.
Nurse Needler, once the auction had restarted, what exactly were you doing?
I was pretending to be Miss Ringler and placing bids just as the ringleader wanted. I had to win the clothes box, as I'd been instructed. It had a dead body inside of it after all. Imagine if somebody else had won it, we would have been in trouble then.
So you had no idea that the victim had vacated the box in the meantime?
No, not until we came back up so I could pay for it. Then that's when we noticed.
You would have told me to go look for her right away.
Except I found some other girl collapsed at the foot of the ladder instead.
Okay.
She must have fallen from up on the roof and been knocked unconscious. Is that the victim must have left that hatch wide open, huh?
That would explain it. Kay would have been so shocked by seeing Miss Ringers fall motionless right in front of her that she wouldn't have seen the open hatch and fallen right through it. That explains the noise that caused you to faint as well, Miss Hart. It was the sound of Kay crash landing into the storeroom floor.
Yeah, suppose so. Can't believe something like that done knocked me out for so long.
So in summary, by the time Miss Needler found Kay, you were already sound asleep behind the statue. I think we've got a good grasp on what occurred up until this point now, Miss Needler. If you would continue.
Sure. So I found Kay, and next I found Miss Ringler, and I put them both in the clothes box. Couldn't risk any auction goers seeing them. That would have caused a real hubbub.
What was your idea, or the ringleaders?
Theirs. Putting the raincoat on Miss Ringler was my own idea. So we tried to get rid of it once they found out what I'd done.
I imagine they were none too pleased when it showed up as a surprise piece of evidence in this case.
And lastly, the ringleader and I put her in the auctioneer's outfit we'd prepared.
Of course. We completed the deception and made everyone think she was the auctioneer.
All in all, the auction finished up without anybody noticing anything at all. That was that.
Now that we know the extent of your crimes, Nurse Needler, if you have anything further to share, I advise you to do so immediately.
I wish I could tell you more, but I'm sorry. That's all I know. Oh, except for one other thing. It did seem a little strange, I guess. When I was borrowing Miss Ringer's clothes, I took everything I could, but I couldn't take her hair, obviously, so ouch! Dang right I couldn't have taken her hair. What kind of a medical professional are you?
That's where you draw the line. So taking her clothes was okay.
Her hair was totally different. The style, the lengths, everything. I kind of panicked. The Ringer thought of everything, including wigs.
Two of them, in fact. There was a straight one and a wavy one. They were both stashed in a clothes box. Two wigs. But why? Right. I wonder that too. Saying maybe they were worried that she might have changed up her style. Anyway, I took the straight one. That was the one that matched her hair on the day. Leaving a wavy wig in the box. And that's everything you know. There's nothing else you've forgotten. No? No, really, Grandma. That's everything. And I take it that you really have no idea who the ringleader might be. Sorry, I only really know that they were in charge of the auction. I didn't see them without their mask on. They were pretty careful to keep their identity a secret from everyone. Okay, get something concrete on them.
Oh, well, Miles, are we about done? Dude, it's so obviously him. With how cocky he's being. Like, it's obvious. It's so obvious it's him. You have permanent us to be part of the murder plot, but sadly for you, it doesn't change a whole lot.
Well, it changes everything. It proves that Kay is not the killer. So we got that going for us.
Yes, it does. She literally said she found Kay unconscious while with the ringleader. Like, bro, what are you talking about? And justice must prevail. We can't change the law, even for your sake.
No, I wish the game would acknowledge that. That testimony literally proves Kay innocent.
Objection!
Oh. Hi, Francisca. Francisca, what are you doing here?
As I told you before, Miles Edgeworth, where the case leads, I follow. Your dedication is an inspiration to us all. But don't go getting the wrong idea, little brother. I'm only here to deliver the truth regarding the suspect. I'm certainly not here to forgive you for abandoning the way of the prosecutor.
I understand that.
You should thank your former subordinate for what I'm about to share. In his desperation to help Kay Faraday, he gave me a valuable piece of information.
Detective Gumshoe did that?
Prepare yourself, Miles Edgeworth. The final piece of the puzzle. Rosie Ringer's head wound was the first injury she suffered, not the second.
Francisca, unfortunately, you already know that. It's very sad. It's a very sad moment, Francisca. We already know that.
Well, someone say something.
Yes, there's no easy way to say this, Francisca, but we already proved that ourselves.
You what?
Yes, just a few minutes ago. Ah!
Why didn't you say so sooner?
You didn't exactly give us a chance.
And I suppose you know about the murder weapon too?
No, not yet.
Ha! Good. Then listen up. The victim was struck on the head with a blunt object bearing a circular surface. And wounds to the chest were actually inflicted post-mortem.
A circular surface.
Objection!
And you're certain of that? I assume your sources are above board. Two trusted medical professionals reached the same conclusion independently. You couldn't ask for more.
Objection!
That's certainly good to know. Unfortunately, you're overstepping the bounds of what? I'm a prosecutor in charge of Interpol's investigation into the underground auction. And this murder occurred during that auction. It would be negligent of me not to pursue leads pertaining to the related parties, especially as a victim. My, you've really become quite a force to be reckoned with, haven't you, my dear? Then all parties are in agreement. The victim died from a blow to the head. Sadly, the murder weapon itself has yet to be identified.
Based on the shape, I might have an idea or two.
But guys, it didn't turn up in any weapon during my investigation.
And yet, one only needs to think about the setting and auctioneer tools. And your answer should be obvious. An object with a circular surface used in an auction. We're obviously talking about. What would an auctioneer have readily at hand? An auctioneer's hammer, of course.
We never found one of those.
The auctioneer was indeed the killer. Does seem like a candidate for the murder weapon.
Without evidence to support your theory, it remains nothing more than that.
Oh, I have just the evidence you need right here. Piece of evidence strongly suggests that auctioneer's hammer was a murder weapon. Oh, yeah. This mentions
Take that!
His heart told us something very important about the auction after the murder occurred. That the very prominent sound of the auctioneer's hammer could no longer be heard. Now, why would that be? I'll tell you why. It had just been used in a murder. It was covered in the victim's blood. It would need to be disposed of. Isn't that right? Chairman winner.
I'll have our people look into this right away. Ah, ha, ha, ha. You really are like a dog with a bone, are you, my dear boy? You can't dictate yourself to a cause when you're young. When can you,
Seems very confident we'll never find it.
Very well. A search of the murder weapon will be conducted. In the meantime, the court is in recess.